Hey guys, how are you? Today I am going to explain a science fiction horror thriller movie named The Fix. The movie is quite interesting and has a very new concept. You will enjoy watching this and spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie is set in the coming future, where we can notice Ella, who is a model, and she was shooting an ad for a pharma company named Ethera. This company is actually based in Africa. Now before going further in the story of the movie, let us know about some things. So this future is here. The air has become toxic. It is very difficult to breathe here, due to which children, elders, even pets wear high-tech masks which filter the air and give clean air so that people can breathe well. In fact, these filters have been installed inside the houses and even inside the cars, and all this is being done so that everyone can stay safe from toxic air. Now the company is a very big company which has created its monopoly, due to which it has made and sold a fake medicine in the market, whose name is AI Remedy, whose doses give humans the freedom to breathe without a mask, although it also has a time limit which is 6 hours. But if someone is not able to take more doses of it, then he can also continue wearing the mask. Now we come back to know a little about Ella in detail. She is a model for this Ethera. She took the place of her mother Fia, who was also a supermodel for Ethera, but unfortunately she committed suicide the year before. A man named Solomon who works under a mysterious man named Lazarus is working on a new serum. He believes that Ethera is going to sell AI Remedy only to a selected few, and majority of the people might end up affected by the toxic air. So he is working with Lazarus to create a new serum, but he believes not taking in the correct dosage will cause damage to their immune system. Well, in the meantime, they come to know from a news that right now 68% of the world's population has come in the red zone, meaning that it is exposed to toxins, and it is being estimated that in the coming 18 months, 83% of the population will come in the red zone. So to save from that, everyone will have to use AI Remedy. Solomon's friend, Spider, suggests that Ethera might come after them to stop making the new serum. So she shows him a new serum which is sold by Ethera called Blue. She advises Solomon to color his serum the same way. If the police catch them, they'll think they're dealers of Ethera and they can escape. Then we see Ella, who goes to the washroom after finishing a shoot, where some girls were talking about her and her mother, which were quite offensive things. But she was not able to control her anger. She ignores them while being engrossed in her own work. Then she calls her boyfriend Tully to invite him to a party that evening, but he refuses, saying that he has something else to do. So Ella calls her best friend Gina to invite her, but she also refuses the invite. Here we find that Gina is with Tully, meaning they were having an affair behind Ella. Tully thinks of telling Ella about his and Gina's relationship, but Gina stops him because today was the day of Ella's mother's death anniversary. Sometime later, they reach this village. That means Gina and Tully used to buy the serum regularly from the dealer living there. The dealer lives alone because this village is now deserted, where people have died due to toxin exposure because they cannot afford to buy AI Remedy. Now on the other hand, if we see a live example of the same thing, then Ella also sees a similar girl inside the shoot workshop, whose nose was bleeding today, and she too has no AI Remedy, and she will not be able to survive much longer. And Ella also gets disturbed by this and checks her AI Remedy tablet, which she used to carry in a locket given by her mother. Well, now we come back to the town where Tully and Gina are shown talking about Ella, where Tully says that Ella is not that good, on which Gina says that she has done a little favor to her, like she has given her an earpiece like a Bluetooth device, through which wireless conversation is possible, and we can call it the Bluetooth of the future, which is it is not put inside the ear but on the top, which she could never afford. Well, now these people have reached the dealer's house, so Gina waits in the car and Tully goes inside to take the serum, but that man starts refusing him for the serum. Here Gina was talking to Ella on the phone, and Ella had to meet Gina, so she asked her to meet Tully at the party, but Ella did not feel like going there at all. So she refuses and says that she will go home and sleep early and hangs up. Now in the course of conversation, Gina tells her that she is alone and this day is difficult for her, on which Ella says that she is fine and for her it is just a day and nothing else, and as I told you that today was also her mother's death anniversary, so her mood was off. Well, on the other hand, we hear the news on the radio that till now more than 130 million people have lost their lives in the whole world due to coming in the red zone, and more than 9 million people have lost their lives in the rural area inside South Africa, where there was no filtration system. Well, after hanging up, Gina goes to Tully and goes to use the washroom of the dealer's house, and Tully starts waiting in the living area. On the TV, we see Eric, the head of research of Ethera Corporation, whose father is the founder of that corporation. He is giving his interview. He also attends a few calls in which he tells about AI remedy that it neutralizes toxins for 6 hours, so people will not need masks. The next caller turns out to be Lazarus, who says that Ethera won't be able to meet global demand. Eric says that this is a classified information mission which cannot be leaked here, but Lazarus reveals that Ethera has over-harvested one of the main ingredients of this medicine, which can no longer be made again, and if this is true, then after this, AI remedy cannot be made anymore, and that is why Ethera Corporation cannot meet global demand. Hearing this, Eric says to stop the interview and leaves. Coming back to Tully, who is waiting in the living area, he starts roaming here and there and threatens the dealer's man that if he does not give him the serum, he will start taking the serum from some other place. Then the man agrees to his words and brings the serum for him from the remaining stock. Now while waiting, Tully manages to find the serum lab, and this lab is the same lab where Solomon was trying to make his new serum. Tully sees Solomon take in a drop of the new serum for testing, and this thing seems very fascinating to him. So after Solomon leaves, Tully sneaks inside the lab to steal the new serum. He goes out like nothing happened and gets the serum for the dealer and leaves. As he and Gina leave from there, we see a man keeping an eye on Solomon's activities on Eric's instructions, who is keeping an eye on him every moment. Now on the other hand, Eric talks to his father, who tells him that if he does not handle the ongoing condition, then he will suffer a huge loss, due to which Eric gets upset. Meanwhile, Ella, who is upset the whole day, decides to go to the party to relax and leaves for Tully's house. Now she goes straight inside the party where she finds Tully and Gina in a compromising position, and Tully was going to make Gina test the same serum which he had stolen from Solomon. Now Ella gets very angry at both of them after seeing all this, and both of them leave from there, and in anger Ella drinks the whole of that serum. That is, thinking it is the normal serum from Ethera. Well, now after drinking it, she dances a little with Tully's friend Brian, who starts flirting with her, but by then Ella's health deteriorates and she goes to the washroom and Tully comes to help her. But Ella vomits on his shoes and tells him to leave. At the same time, Eric reaches his lab to test the results of the new serum his team is preparing. But like the first 62 trials, this time also the experiment fails. Here he gets very angry, while his secretary Angela tells him that Eric's SPM Max calls him saying that he wants to meet him since their parents have divorced. But Eric gets a call from his ex-wife Nicole, who says that she and Max are going to her mother's house. But Eric is worried for Max since her mother's house is already in the red zone and Max is very sensitive, but she refuses to listen to him. In the next scene, we see Ella, who has regained consciousness, and now we can feel some changes inside her body. Some mutations are happening inside her body, due to which her body starts heating up and she sits in the bathtub in agony. Now in the meantime we can see Tully running from Solomon, Spider and his companions, who have found that he stole the new serum. They take him to the bathroom where they beat him up. Ella drowns herself in the bathtub to hide from them. There, they ask Tully for the bottle of the serum, but he says that he doesn't have it. He tells them that he lost it somewhere in the house. Solomon says that they will have to find it because no one should take that serum now. Spider also tells Tully that he has no idea what he has stolen. It means that whatever that serum is, it is very, very dangerous. Now they go out. Meanwhile, Ella comes out of the tub and asks Tully, who is present there, what that serum was because she drank it completely. Hearing this, Tully calls those people, but by then she has disappeared from there. They get angry at him, and he snatches their gun from them. Spider tries to take the gun, and in this struggle, Tully gets shot in the leg. Solomon and the other two go outside. He sends people to find Ella and asks Spider to find her too, who must be in high fever and unable to perform the function or must be in a worse condition. Now Spider sends away all the people saying that the police are coming. Now their men go out looking for the new serum. Tully regains consciousness and notices Ella stuck to the ceiling. She comes down and he asks her how she climbed up. But now she is worried about what was the thing she had drunk. She tries to open the door to go from here, which does not open, so she punches it in anger. But shockingly the door itself breaks, meaning that her super strength had come. We can also notice light wounds on her hand and neck, and now she makes a plan to run away from here with Tully. She breaks the ceiling window and runs away from there with Tully, and hearing the sound, Solomon and Spider also follow them. They come to the rooftop where Tully starts slipping and she touches him. He gets saved, but she did not hold him. She just touched him and he kind of stuck to her, and Gina sees this from below, who thinks that Ella is pushing Tully. Now they go ahead, but Tully slips and falls down, due to which he dies. Solomon now tries to stop Ella, but before that he asks her how much of that well she drank, that is, how much of that serum she has taken. On this she says that she has drunk the entire serum. Then she jumps down, which was 15 to 20 feet high, but she comes down comfortably. Nothing happens to her, that is, mutation was happening inside her. Now Gina comes there, who feels that Ella had thrown Tully down, that is, after knowing about their relationship. But people were after Ella, so she runs away from there. Now on the way she finds Brian, but by then she becomes unconscious. Maybe it was a side effect of this mutation, but he did not know that and took her to his house. The next day, Gina tells the police about Ella, and we also see that informer telling Eric about this. Now at his home, Brian starts getting intimate with the unconscious Ella because of her flirting with him at the party. But after regaining consciousness, she pushes him away out of fear. Then his face gets cut because a claw was coming out of Ella's elbow, seeing which he gets very scared and runs away. Ella also got worried seeing this, and she went to the washroom and checked herself. Then her wounds had increased a bit. That claw had also come on her elbow, which according to her could come out anytime, which she cuts right now. Now she leaves from here and goes to the hospital where she asks for urgent help from the doctor, but there were already patients from the red zone here. So the doctor asks her to wait, on which she removes her mask and shows. Then her eyes started turning red and the veins of the whole body started appearing black, which the doctor assumes to be affected. Now the doctor asks her to get admitted, due to which she starts running away from there. A security guard follows her. To save herself from this, she comes into the ward of a girl and looks at her hands. Small tentacles have come out of them, with the help of which she climbs the wall and sticks to the ceiling as she had done at Tully's house, and in this way she saves herself. Now the guard comes here to check. After his departure, when she comes down, she was about to leave from there when that girl asks her whether she has come to take her to God, because the doctor had said that she will be going to meet God soon. Hearing this, Ella feels very bad and she takes out the AI remedy from her locket and gives it to the girl, saying she will be fine. After this, Ella goes to Gina's house. But Gina starts running after seeing her, but she tries to explain the truth to her that she did not push Tully and he fell on his own. Ella reveals her condition and tells Gina that she feels hungry and goes to eat the raw meat from her kitchen. Now here she fights with Gina and gets angry at her that she considered her as her friend but she cheated on her. On which Gina says that her boyfriend himself was cheating on her, and the biggest thing is that Gina is angry with her because she kept getting everything like this while she craves for it, and she is also an attention seeker who hurts the people around her. On which Ella says that it seems to her that her life is perfect, but she also has sorrows and she just wanted a person who loves her and cares for her. But till now Gina was never a true friend to her and asks her to return the Bluetooth headset given to her. Now in the meantime, she gets a call from Solomon from Tully's phone. He calls Ella to meet alone and she decides to go to him for help because only he knew about her problem. Now in the meantime, we see Eric, who meets the police commissioner, who introduces him to Brian. He reveals about Ella and what she did to him. Because of this, Eric tells his men to find Ella and he bribes the commissioner with AI remedy. In the next scene, we see the changes happening in Ella's body, in which her strength had increased. Her face had started changing, her nature had become very aggressive, and her wounds were increasing and her nails were breaking and falling. It seemed as if she was evolving into something. Eric talks to his father to inform him that he is making a synthetic formula for AI remedy which is not being successful and they can suffer loss due to synthetic formula. On which he says that they will have to try it. At the meeting time, Ella goes to meet Solomon, who kidnaps her and ties her up at his home. But she uses her claws to cut her restraints and escape. She goes to the kitchen and eats all the raw meat there. Hearing the commotion, Solomon and Spider come to catch her, but Ella spits at them, which happens to be acid, and it hurts Spider. Right at this time, Eric sends the police to their location and Solomon tells Spider to take the new serum and get out of there. The police enter the room and arrest both Solomon and Ella, stating the reason being her to cause Tully's death and also for hurting Brian. Solomon is taken as her accomplice, and this is because the commissioner made a deal with Eric to catch them. Ella and Solomon are taken to jail and he reveals to Ella that he was actually a scientist who used to work in Ethera, but he stole the formula for AI remedy and made his own serum from it. Ella now notices her ears have transformed and Solomon reveals that the AI remedy is not safe and he is working to make something natural that will save humanity. At this time, Eric arrives at the jail and promises Ella that he will cure her and takes her out. He imprisons Solomon in the basement and takes Ella to his lab. He tells her that he will cure her. He just has to do some tests on her, and he had also contacted Ella's dad but could not talk to him. Ella agrees for the tests and Eric comes to know some shocking thing, but for now he does not tell anything to anyone. Anyway, now he goes to Solomon and tells him that he will make him his partner, but in return he will have to tell the formula for the new serum. Otherwise he will rot here for the rest of his life and criminal charges will also be imposed on him. Solomon says that even after taking the formula he will not make AI remedy available to everyone. On this he says that his shareholders want that AI remedy be left for their children and grandchildren, and what is wrong in that? Solomon now rejects his deal, and now Eric talks to his dad that he will take out that serum from inside Ella. Here we come to know what the matter was. The serum that Solomon had made makes a mutation type by making some changes inside humans that can make them immune to the toxic air. Ella wakes up inside the lab, and because of the mutation, she can hear what Eric is talking with his dad. She learns that Eric was lying to her, and he is not only going to do tests on her but make her a lab rat to create his new serum, and in the process she might lose her life as well. She gets aggressive and Eric releases a gas to make her unconscious. Sometime later, the staff arrived there to check on her, but Ella was faking and she was totally awake. She beats them up easily and is them where Solomon is kept. She leaves after getting the info, and on her way, she hears a guard coming and she clings to the ceiling like she did before. As the guard gets close to her, she swings down and spits her acid saliva on his face and beats him up. Now she finds Solomon and asks him to come with her. Solomon asks her to accept his condition to help him perfect the serum to help everyone. As Ella agrees, they go on their way out. At this time, Spider arrives at the facility and sneaks inside to place bombs to help Solomon escape. At this time, Eric had just gone to get his son Max. Just as Eric meets Max, his subordinates inform him about Ella's escape. So Eric leaves Max with his assistant Angela and leaves. Ella and Solomon hear someone coming and tackle him, only to find that it is Spider. They go together and they reach the lab. Solomon now reveals that actually the main ingredients in the AI remedy are dragonflies, which are particular to a certain location in Africa. But Ethera harvested so much that the species has become almost extinct. And with the new serum inside Ella, they can successfully manage to create a safe serum to help humanity. Spider takes this chance to detonate what she planted earlier, and they run away from there. They end up in a bathroom where they find Max hiding, and seeing Ella with her transformed features, Max calls her a fairy. Ella helps Max, and now he returns her locket to her, which he took from Eric's office. Soon the four start running away from there. On going ahead, they find Eric, who blocks their way, but using Max as bait, Solomon and Spider go ahead. Ella stays behind with the help of Max, whom Eric was about to shoot to make him unconscious, but she saves him and jumps off the floor to reach where Solomon and Spider were. All three of them exit the parking lot in a car, and Eric's team shoots at them. But Eric orders them to capture Ella alive, and they shoot the tire, which causes the vehicle to roll over. Shockingly, only Spider was there, and Solomon and Ella were escaping via another route on foot. They leave one man to look after Spider, but she fakes a seizure and attacks him to escape. At this time, Ella and Solomon reach a fence, and Ella reveals her claw to cut them up. Seeing this, Solomon understands that Ella is not human anymore and feels that she is really important to save humanity. Going forward, they reach a bridge, and Solomon tells her that he will stay behind and Ella should run away from here because it is very important for her to reach Lazarus, who will be in charge of making the serum. He further says that he himself was the subject, but he did not have the courage like Ella to take more to see the effects. Because of this, he urges her to leave him there since he will not be safe, since the effects on him are not looking good for him. Miraculously, Ella has become immune, and he tells her that her survival is vital for humanity to thrive. Hearing this, Ella jumps into the water, and soon Solomon is surrounded by the guards. Soon, the video that Solomon and Spider took is broadcasted around the globe, explaining everything about Ethera, and she also reveals about the new serum which will be made by Lazarus. Soon we see Ella, who had become a complete human dragonfly with wings. She gains control over her new body, and here it is mentioned that it is time for humanity to change. Finally, Ella manages to find Lazarus, who happens to be none other than Angela. With that, the movie ends here. Let me know your thoughts about how you would want humanity to mutate if this situation happens in reality. And make sure to subscribe and leave a like to help the channel out. Until next time, this is your host for Movie Movie Recap signing off. Thanks for watching.